Sanbanani Molweni, Goeiemorgen, good morning, TTP learners, mentors, and SETMU staff. I am Tennille Bee, and I am a former TTP learner. I'm recording this video because I cannot physically share my experience with you, and I hope that you find this video informative. Today I will be discussing my journey as an educator, how I came to be, and hopefully motivate some of you to become educators as well. So let's go back to the journey. In 2014, I was in matric, and I had obviously been to the TTP program. I had exposure to the courses, and I so vaguely remember I was the only one in my group who was interested in teaching. And so I went during our careers day. Unfortunately, you have a virtual one, but we had a physical contact careers day. And I remember going to the education stand and taking the brochure for education, and everyone in my group was like, no, why would you do that? And I said, let's just keep our options open. So I read up on education, and somehow I developed an interest. However, it wasn't the only course that I applied for. I applied for courses in medicine and engineering as well. To say the least, January of 2015 came, matric results came out. I did perform quite well. However, I was waiting for the university messages to come through, and then nothing. So I started going into my bedroom. I started crying. I was wondering, I worked so hard to get to this point. I was second in my school's top 10, and I wondered, am I going to study this year? Okay. I then inquired at university and found out that I did not have funding, although I got accepted. At the time, it was at UFS. My school offered a scholarship, and I didn't get the scholarship. I had no funding. My parents couldn't afford to pay. I had no accommodation. So although I got accepted at UFS, I did not have a place to live. Remember, I am from Joburg, so I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have funding, and it was devastating. I had to take a gap year as a result, and I started working during that gap year. Now, during that year, I worked as a junior admin assistant at a company, and working there was horrible. Every day going to work was horrible. So I told myself, listen, I'm going to try this university thing again. I then applied at WIT. I researched funding this time, and I wish someone had told me this when I was in matric. The importance of funding and exploring funding options, accommodation. If you're not from the province where your university is situated, it is vital that you have funding. So I came across the Funza Lushaka bursary, and I applied for it secretly, didn't tell anyone. I got accepted into university, and I went to my boss. I resigned. They asked me to stay. I told them if I worked another day in this office, I would go insane. It did not match my personality at all. It did not match anything or any of the goals that I had for myself. So I had to get out. Now, I became a teacher because I was inspired by one of my teachers who told me that I would make a great educator. And I was like, no ways. Anyway, my teacher inspired me. I went into teaching. I did a 4-year Bachelor of Education degree at WIT, and I specialized in secondary teaching with a major in English and physical science. And I qualified in 2019. So, I got my degree through the post, thanks to Corona. So I'm a qualified educator. I'm currently in my second year of teaching. I am employed by the Gauteng Department of Education at a school in the south of Johannesburg, in the township, might I add. I will not mention the school just now. You guys come and find me. But I work in the south of Johannesburg in a township school, and every day, me being a teacher at that school shows me why I was destined to come to this path. But before we get there, let me discuss what I'm currently doing, and then we'll get to the vibes. So I am currently studying a Bachelor of Education Honours through WITS as well. I'm in my first year with a general major. So a general major is management policy, and I'm hoping to specialize next year in online teaching and learning resources. With the pandemic, obviously there needs to be major shifts in the education sphere, and I believe that I would like to partake in that, and therefore I would like to specialize in online teaching and learning. I also completed a interior design diploma last year during the pandemic, during lockdown, so yay. I also have a business that I started when I was working, and I am the CEO and founder of my family's business. You can check it out on the socials. It's called the Silver Lollipop Custom Luggage. Yeah, and that's some of the things that I'm doing. So let's get to some of the things that you guys might be interested in. So what are the academic requirements that you need to be an educator? So you need to, at WITS particularly, you need to have an APS of, I think, 36. And you need to have a level 5 in English, as well as if you'd like to major in science and maths and ICT, you would need at least a level 6 or level 7, because you cannot major in a subject that you do not do well in. So please note that if you are interested in being a teacher, whatever subject you major in, that will be, you need to do well in that subject. Moving on, you need to obviously enroll timeously, and you need to explore funding options. The Department of Education offers a bursary called Funza Lushaka. I was lucky to be a bursar of that bursary, and it's fully inclusive of tuition, accommodation, books, allowance, monthly allowance, living costs. So it is something that you should look into. It is quite a comprehensive bursary. However, it is a merit bursary, and it covers you. Sorry, it's raining. It covers you for your complete year of study. Okay, and yeah, you need to make sure you pick subjects that align with the bursary. So, for example, we need people like you guys who are brilliant and geniuses in maths and physics to come and teach some of us a few things. So definitely, when you apply, be careful and check the criterion that they ask or that they require, especially maths and science. Those are subjects that we always need educators in. So hoping to welcome some of you into the science and STEM teaching fraternity. Right, some of the characteristics you need to be a teacher is you need to be patient, you need to be willing to change and willing to adapt, you need to obviously be hardworking, you need to be a lifelong learner and dedicated to learning, you need to be compassionate, you need to show empathy in your job, and that's some of the characteristics in a day-to-day life of an educator. So you get to school, it is compulsory to attend staff meetings, or we call it briefings, where we discuss matters in the school. Then you go to class. In class, you obviously, your roles and responsibilities are facilitating the curriculum. So you are the gap, or you need to bridge the gap, between the curriculum and the learners. You need to be innovative as a teacher. You need to obviously teach and assist. Those are some of the core functions of a teacher. And then there are some of the pastoral, we call it pastoral duties, that you do participate in, which is you being a counselor, career guidance counselor, encouraging learners. And that's the part that I find really stole my heart about teaching. The beauty about being a teacher is that every single day at work is different. And that's the type of thing that I needed. I am not the type of person to sit behind a desk and do the same job. Being a teacher allowed me to literally, every day is different. I can write a book 365 days of being a teacher, and there will be no repetition. Yes, teaching might be similar, but the occurrences that happen in the day are so vastly different. So, yeah. You also need to obviously participate in extracurricular or co-curricular activities as a teacher. You need to attend workshops, and your job does not end there. So if you thought that your teacher comes to school, takes a textbook and starts teaching you, you are heavily mistaken. There is so much preparation involved with being a teacher, so you need to be a good planner and a good organizer with that regard, because when you get home or at school, whenever you find time, you need to plan the curriculum and how you're going to facilitate that curriculum to your learners, right? And when I say that, I mean you're thinking for yourself and 300 other people. So you need to figure out, how can I relate this to the context of my learners? It's a thought process. Being a teacher, you continuously thinking, adapting, developing methodologies and preparing the curriculum. You can't teach the same way you taught one class and the same methodology for another. You can't transcend your methodologies from year to year, because every year we have a different group of learners. So if you are interested in being an educator, and I hope that this video was informative for you, I hope that I encourage some of you to be a teacher. And before I go, I just want to make a statement that says, being a teacher is a job of the heart. It is not a job that you can get up from a desk and leave. When you leave your school, you take what those learners bring. So the lessons you learn, the experiences that you learn, you bring it with you. It is a job that has a emotional labor that is unmatched. Being a teacher means having empty pockets but having a full heart every day, because knowing that you have made a difference. And yes, my dear learners, the only way we can break our generational curses that haunt us as millennials and Generation X and Z is through education. So I really hope this video was informative and that I interest some of you in becoming educators, and I will drop my email and my details. So if you need any advice, please feel free to contact me and I will assist you gladly, especially with regards to bursaries and with the course. I do not mind at all. Thank you for your time. Bye.